Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the rest of 2024. You start off here with this strategy card. It says, plan, scheme, and strategize your future and take the next right action. You have this overcoming challenges card. It says, a triumph will bring great changes. Let yourself be open to victory. There you go. So, and there's a mountain on this overcoming challenges card. So, very Capricornian energy going on there. But I would be open to a victory that could be coming your way. And, I think that a lot of you have been putting in a lot of work is literally what I was about to say. So you've been putting a lot of work into, making your life work. I feel just in general, like all areas of your life, you've been trying to create like change, or you've been trying to get better results. So maybe in work or business, you've been trying to make more money. Maybe in your love life, you've been trying to, find the right partner, whatever it is, doesn't matter. And I feel that you are finally getting to a place of victory, which is great. As I've been saying to you all year, I think that once we get past, once we officially get past Pluto in Capricorn, which, we officially have Pluto moving into Aquarius in November, I think that's when you are going to notice like the biggest sense of relief and like feeling like things are, going more your way. But again, you should start to notice improvements right away. You have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles says teamwork makes the dream work, of course, and then you have the Ten of Wands right next to it. Right here. So I think that being open to teamwork or allowing other people to help you, especially on anything that you're working on that requires a lot of work, would be a good idea. This could say that, there are other people who can help you remove some burdens, or there are people who can help you free up some time. You also have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is a victory, and that overcoming challenges card says, let yourself be open to victory. So I kind of feel like there is a victory coming in for you. The one thing that I see here is that we have the Nine of Swords. So we go Lovers, Nine of Swords to the Chariot, which is also a big victory coming in for you. And I feel like the Nine of Swords is saying, like, don't base a new situation off of a past one, right? And this does not have to be love. Obviously, it could be because you have the Lovers, you have the Knight of Cups as well, which could be a lover entering into your life. So if you have negative experiences in your love life, I feel like that Nine of Swords is saying, don't think that this is going to be just like the last one, and be open to the fact that things can be different. And I think as long as you do that, obviously you'll have a victory. But I also feel that you are at a crossroads, or you have a decision to make, and I feel that one path is probably very similar to the past, or it is the past, and another path would be you moving away from what you already know. The Chariot is leaving that city behind him and he is setting himself apart. So he is leaving an old path behind, and he's stepping off onto a new path. So I'm not ready to say this yet, but I kind of feel that this reading is saying the victory is going to come from you picking a new path, or you taking everything you've learned from the past and applying it to a new situation, I think would be another good way to put the energy that I feel here. And so, yeah, let's see where this goes. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Six of Pentacles, slow investments, right? Six of Pentacles says that there could be new love coming in for you. Six of Pentacles says play the game of tennis, right, with that person. Hit the ball to them. Wait for them to return the energy. If they return the energy, hit the ball back, right? So I think as long as you follow the rules of balance, then things will go very well for you. Same thing in work or business. Like I feel like a lot of you Capricorns might be saying, I put in so much work into the things that I'm working on, and they don't work. But I also feel like maybe that's the problem, right? It's like I had a person who, I do a lot of YouTube stuff, like a lot of work with YouTubers and YouTube training and things like that. And I had a person that looked at my stuff, and they were like, you give away way too much information, right? And so sometimes, and I have a crap ton of a Capricorn in my chart. So I think Capricorn is like a little bit of an overachiever. I think the Capricorn energy does give too much, right? And so maybe it would be better for you to like simplify in anything that you're working on, anything that you're creating, or even if you're working on a relationship or you're working on your health, make sure that you're doing it in balance and kind of like start small, see what grows, see what doesn't, and then keep doubling down on the good stuff. And that's what the Six of Pentacles always says to me. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Chariot. Crazy. So many repeating cards in this set of readings. Like everybody whose reading I've done has had a lot of repeating cards so far. which is pretty weird to me. It really doesn't happen as much as you think, even though, my initial spread has like 12 cards and then I do 12 more cards. You think it would happen a lot, but it really doesn't. And so, to me, the repeating cards represent the path or the journey that we're on. And, the repeating cards are basically confirmation for the path that you're on. So you are clearly charging straight towards a victory here, Capricorn. With the Lovers, you have the Page of Pentacles. Yes, new person coming in for you. The Page of Pentacles is literally a new person that could be entering into your life. It could be an earth sign. It could be, you also have water, Gemini. You have Pisces here twice. You have Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo, and Sagittarius with the Wheel of Fortune. So it could be any sign, but the Page of Pentacles, usually we start with communication and then we kind of go from there. So I think that it would be perfectly fine for you to start small. Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have this surrender card. You also have this approve card. And I think what you need to accept is success in your life. You need to say that I surrender to allowing things to work in my life, right? I surrender to not need things to be so difficult. I think that when we are in a period of time where things are a lot of work, where things are very difficult, then we just think things have to be difficult. And I feel the universe is trying to get you to surrender to simplicity. I feel like the universe is trying to get you to surrender to things not always being a struggle or needing to believe that things don't need to be a struggle. And I kind of feel the Ten of Wands is talking about your mindset and thinking like, to build this next business, I have to overcome things, or, to be in this relationship, it has to be hard or it has to be difficult. I feel the Ten of Wands is asking you to release the burdens, but it's more asking you to release the mental burden, asking you to change how you look at things. And that's what I would do there. You have the Nine of Swords. So again, I think that some of you have been hurt in the past, or obviously, but maybe there was like one big hurt that really stands out to you. And I feel like the Nine of Swords is saying like, don't create something that doesn't exist. There's a saying, right? The saying is, when you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So I think this is saying, if you enter into a new situation looking for things to be wrong, you're going to find a lot of things wrong with that situation. If you enter into it and say to yourself, this is a new situation, of course, I'm not going to be blind to anything that's going on, but I'm going to pay attention, but, not everything is an issue, then I think you're going to have a victory. So I would make sure that you're not looking at everything as an issue. You have the Nine of Wands. Again, I feel pretty good about this Nine of Wands because I feel like the Nine of Wands is saying you are open, like you are opening up. He is the wounded warrior, but he's willing to give something one more try. He has that wand in front of him that he's holding on to. So I feel that this is kind of saying that you're giving something one more try. The Nine of Wands really says that, if there's even just like one good reason to give something a chance, and it doesn't have to be love. Like I said, this could be, for a lot of you, I do feel it's work. It's like you have been putting in too much work into work. And the Nine of Wands is saying you're trying something new where maybe you're simplifying or you're going more simple. And I feel the Nine of Wands is saying if there's like one good reason to do it, you should do it. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Empress. Yes, like she is not struggling. All she is doing is waving that scepter that she's holding in front of her, and the wheat in front of her grows. Like she doesn't have to put in, 100 hours a week to make something work, right? And, I think that a lot of you are maybe trying to get into a position where you're not working 100 hours a week, or you're trying to get into a position where you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. That's the whole point of the Empress, is she's meant to look like luxury because she is enjoying what she has created. It's like if you're only working, then you can't enjoy the things that you've created. And I feel that's really what the Empress is saying. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Seven of Cups, all in your imagination. He is imagining something or the outcome to something, or he's imagining something he wants, and he sees good things and bad things in those cups that are in front of him, but he really doesn't know what the outcome is going to be until he does it. He's just imagining things. So I would say that this part of the reading is definitely saying don't get carried away with your imagination. Again, don't look for nails. Don't carry a hammer. Maybe that's a better way to say it. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Hangman. And so the Hangman is about new perspectives. I'm pretty sure we said something at the beginning about, I've forgotten already, but I'm pretty sure I said something about your perspective changing. I mean, really, it is saying that. It is kind of like saying, instead of thinking, I have to put in 100 hours of work, maybe you could figure out an efficient way to do what you're about to do, and it only is going to take 10 hours of work. So I feel like the Hangman is saying, the opposite perspective exists. You just have to look for it, and you will find it. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Winds of Change card. It says your surroundings will undergo a transition. You have this King card. It says authority and diplomacy on it. So I think that you are in a time of great change. Literally, you have the Chariot as your first card, and his surroundings are going to change. So a lot of you could be kind of like bossing up here with this King energy as well, and you could be taking the lead, or you could be taking control on a change that you are making, and obviously it's going to be a good thing because you have the Chariot. The Chariot is leaving behind the city behind him, and so again, his surroundings are going to undergo a change. He is in alignment. He has these stars up here, these moons right here, and it represents as above, so below. So there are no reins attaching these sphinxes to the Chariot, and the sphinxes represent the mysteries of the universe, and he is being guided by those sphinxes. They are driving the Chariot, but he just is in alignment with exactly what he wants. So because he's in alignment, he gets what he wants. The universe brings him to what he wants. And so again, if what you're in alignment with is, I have to work until my face bleeds to be successful, then that's what's going to happen. But if you change your perspective and you say, no, there's got to be a better way, and you go and you learn, you educate yourself on whatever it is you're putting work into, and you learn a better way, and you say it doesn't have to be this hard, it can be very simple, then, I think that for a lot of you, you could be discovering a better way to do things. It's like, I think about this on YouTube, right? It's like there are people that, like me, who put out 900 readings every single week, and, that is the hard way to do things, right? But there are other people on YouTube who put out like one video a month, and it makes them $1 million, right? If they're super popular. So, that's a ridiculous example, but, again, they're both people are doing exactly the same thing. Both people maybe are getting the same result, although I would argue that focusing on one focused video that makes $1 million is much better than doing 900 readings a week, right? There are like two perspectives, and I feel like the Chariot, the whole entire reading is saying there are like two truths that exist. Both require either the same, or maybe that one video that makes $1 million takes really less effort, probably, if you think about it, and gets a better result. So I think your job here is to kind of like look for gold. I think your job at the end of the year is to find an easier way to do what you want to do. And yes, it's going to require research. No, you can't discover this actually, you probably can discover it from the comfort of your couch if you do, research on a computer or something. But the point being, you're going to have to take action. This isn't going to magically appear for you. You have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is a card of expansion and growth. I think that, of course, Pluto leaving your sign is going to lead to a period of intense growth, or people are going to start noticing all the growing you have done over the last 20 years or so. Pluto in your sign is very like deep, intense work, and then people don't see it until after. So again, you could notice that your position in the world is changing, or people are noticing you more, or you're standing out more, which is great. You have the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like your fortunes are changing. You feel more fortunate to me. I kind of, feel like the Wheel of Fortune is more your energy or how you feel. And so, again, I just feel like you feel like your fortunes are changing. With the Chariot, you have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, it could be a fire sign that you're attracting into your life. The Queen of Wands to me is a card of seduction. So, and with the Empress right here, I feel that someone finds you very attractive here, Capricorn. So I would go for it, especially if it's like a fire sign. With the Three of Wands, you have the Hermit. The Hermit is about getting out into the world. Pluto's been in your sign for 20-something years. You've gone up one side of the mountain. You've done all your soul searching. You've been through the dark night of the soul. Now it's time to come down from the mountain. Again, this isn't like accurate tarot, but me personally, how I feel about the Hermit, I feel like that the Hermit is meant to come down from the mountain. He has learned something, and now he has the star in his lantern there, and he needs to come down from the mountain and share his wisdom. So it's like it is your job to, become an inspiration to other people. And I've definitely said this to you before. So again, you've been through a difficult period of time, and you've discovered better ways of doing things, and you're here to show other people how to do it. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Five of Cups. Yeah, I think your fortunes are changing. I would get out of your head. I feel that the Six of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles down to the Nine of Swords to the Five of Cups is saying that maybe you over-delivered in a past connection, or maybe you overgave. There's nothing wrong with overgiving as long as the other person is also an overgiver, right? It's like two overgivers together is fine because you're still giving in balance. But I think this is talking about, giving just enough and seeing where things go, and then, as you give more and as long as they meet you where you are giving energy, then, I would keep going. But I think that's where the disappointments have come from in love for you in the past. Next, you have this Patience card. It says moon cycles on it. You have this Enchanted card. It says moonlight on it. So there could be a very enchanting person coming in for you for sure. I feel you have been very patient. Like some of you maybe have been single for an unusual amount of time, or, maybe really haven't connected with a person in a long time. And I feel that this Knight of Cups could be, just what you're looking for is entering into your life. So I feel like the Knight of Cups could be like a knight in shining armor, a person who sweeps you off your feet. If you don't want love, this could also be you working towards a dream or manifesting a dream here on Earth. The reason I say that is because you have the moon. The moon can represent a period of like fears, fantasies, illusions, secrets, not being sure what your next step should be, things like that. But the moon in the good stuff would say that you're entering into a time of the sun. You're entering into a time of clarity. Or it could also say, I look at the moon as something that needs to come down to Earth. Seven of Cups, right? So you have the Seven of Cups in the same row, and you have the moon here, and the moon coming up in the good stuff could say that you are bringing something that is a fantasy into reality. And even the Knight of Cups here, the Knight of Cups can represent a dream, or it could say that he is dreaming. The job of the Knight of Cups is that he has to plant seeds in front of the water that is flowing in front of him. He's standing in the desert. Nothing grows in the desert, but really there's water right in front of him. So even though he's in the desert where he thinks there are no resources, he can make something grow. You have the High Priestess. So we are in a very intuitive time. I would trust any intuitive messages, any signs, symbols, synchronicities that you're receiving from the universe, or maybe you're seeing repeating numbers or whatever it is for you. I feel the High Priestess is saying that you need to look at both. I also think that having a neutral perspective would be a good idea. Ten of Wands is too much work. I think the High Priestess sits in the middle of these two pillars, the B and the J. They're two different colors. It kind of says that she has a neutral perspective on what she is doing. She doesn't think something is going to take a lot of work, but she also doesn't think something is going to take no work. She is kind of looking for that middle ground, or she is looking for the point, she's looking for like the 80-20 really is the energy I get for you. She's saying, what is the, 20% of work I can do that will give me 80% of the results? So she's trying to be efficient in your reading, I feel. She's trying to be as efficient as possible. So let's see. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Star. There you go. So we talked about the Star coming out with the Hermit, and you go Hermit, Star right here. You could be attracting a star into your life. So this could be a person who maybe they're not famous, but you could see this person as someone who has a lot of hope, faith, and good energy around them. So you could be attracting a really solid person. I also feel, again, the Star can be a dream. So the whole entire reading is about manifesting this dream right here, Seven of Cups, down on Earth. With the Moon card, you have the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, it's changing your story, right? Four of Pentacles, holding on too tightly to something, thinking that your story is always going to be the same. Thinking that things are always going to be hard, thinking that things are always going to be difficult. And I feel that's really what's changing for you, which is great. With the High Priestess, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Love it. Amazing. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in your life. The Ten of Pentacles forms the Tree of Life, which represents everything you want and desire. So you could be working towards, building a really nice life for yourself with this energy. Let's see. You have the Originality card. Yeah, it's an amazing time of originality, especially Pluto going into Aquarius. Any original ideas or new ideas that you have, any ideas to create less work for yourself would also be, really good for you. You have this Detachment card. This is about being detached from an outcome. If you are an overgiver, being an overgiver is because you're too attached to the outcome. So I think practicing, non-attachment would be a really good idea. You have a lot of Aquarius energy, I'm noticing as well. So both of those cards are Aquarius, and you have the Star here. Some of you could be dealing with an Aquarius. You have this riches card, Ten of Pentacles. So I think that whatever you're doing, things are about to change. Could be a very financially positive end of the year for you. So you could be, you have so much abundance here. It's amazing, right? You have this flirtation card. Yeah, I think it's time to flirt. And again, that's how I would look at it. If you're meeting a new person at the end of the year, which I totally think you can, if you get out of the house, then, starting, just being flirtatious, lighthearted, playful, keeping it playful, not getting too serious would be a really, really good idea. And finally, you have this friendship card. Starting as friends, right? Like seeing how things go and not attaching too much to it would be a good idea if you're attracting a new person into your life. I also feel like I'm getting something about friends being very important to your development. So, if you've been working too much, Ten of Wands, and you haven't been doing much socializing, or if you haven't been getting out of the house, I think it would be an amazing time for you to socialize, meet new people, have more fun. I think all those things would be very helpful for you. But pretty simple stuff. I like it. Definitely a major victory as well. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.